If your testosterone levels are currently stuck in the 400 to 500 range or lower, there's a very good chance you're missing one of the most powerful testosterone levers known to man. It's not exotic, it's not super exciting, but it is a fundamental basic. And the real danger here is that men in the UK, Canada, Scandinavia, Northern America, and Northern Europe are deficient for 6 months of the year and they don't even realize it. So today I'm breaking down 7 specific reasons why fixing your vitamin D levels has taken some guys from like average to elite levels of testosterone. And then there's a section at the end where I'm going to tell you specifically what to do and how you can do this yourself. So I analyze hormonal blood work for a living, and if there's one marker that keeps on coming up as deficient or borderline low, especially this time of year, is vitamin D. And the problem is, it's not just like a vitamin; it acts more like a hormone inside the body. I really don't think guys take it seriously enough. So here's seven reasons vitamin D is the most powerful hormone in the body, especially if you want to increase testosterone levels. So the first one is the vitamin D directly improves testosterone signaling. So there's all kinds of receptors in the testes and the Leydig cells, and these are vitamin D receptors, sorry. And when vitamin D is low, these receptors are also low and testosterone production is low, and then you can reverse that. So the higher D3 gets, the higher these receptors get, and the more signaling there is in all of these relevant cells. The Leydig cells, the testes, these are responsible for producing testosterone. Like it's a basic thing. Similarly to how basic cholesterol is. So cholesterol and vitamin D, fundamental building blocks for those organs and cells to be producing testosterone. Think of it like that. So the second big point is that it lowers SHBG, which raises free testosterone. So a lot of guys have symptoms that are like low testosterone, but they're actually not low or super low in testosterone. It's the free T that's lower. So vitamin D has been shown to reduce SHBG, which makes everything feel better. It makes the testosterone more usable in the body. You get stronger, you build muscle more easily, you get the morning wood more easily, your mood is better, all of the typical testosterone stuff. So vitamin D comes before the SHBG in every case, but sometimes if your SHBG is high, this is why. So the third point is that vitamin D outside of sunlight is linked to your circadian rhythm and sleep quality. So I've harped on a million times here on this YouTube channel about the importance of sunlight, getting light into your eyes. That is the biggest thing for your circadian rhythm, but it's also vitamin D levels. So even if you do get some natural light, if you're vitamin D deficient, it can certainly affect your circadian rhythm, how easily you fall asleep and how easily you stay asleep, definitely, and REM sleep as well. So simply put, if you are borderline vitamin D deficient or you are deficient, you're more likely to wake up in the night at 2 in the morning. You're more likely to wake up feeling fatigued, and you're less likely to have morning wood. A fourth point is that it reduces chronic inflammation. Vitamin D does. There are many vitamins that do this, and there are many ways to potentially do this, but vitamin D is one of them. If you have inflammation in the body, and you can measure this on your blood work, things like C-reactive protein, maybe EGFR, if these are present, it could be because you're vitamin D deficient. This is one of the reasons. If there is inflammation in the body and the organs, the body is under threat. And so it's not exactly prioritizing testosterone. It's prioritizing survival and just not dying, basically. So you want to get yourself out of that stage so you're not just trying to survive, you're thriving. And higher vitamin D levels is one of those potential ways to do that. So point number 5 is that it supports dopamine, drive, motivation. So loads of guys, they feel low motivation. They can't be bothered getting out of bed. They don't feel consistently motivated to aggressively pursue the things they really want in life, which is a problem. Especially if you never feel motivated. You're not going to feel motivated all the time, but it's not purely psychological. A lot of it is biochemical. It's dopamine related. So number 6 is that it improves insulin sensitivity and it makes it easier to have better body composition. So, calories in, calories out is still the bottom line. You're not going to get shredded if you're in a calorie surplus, but what vitamin D will do is it will raise your calories out a little bit. It will improve your nutrient partitioning a little bit. So if you're lifting weights really intensely, if you're sleeping well, higher vitamin D levels is going to improve where various nutrients go, where the blood sugar goes to. It's going to have more of a positive effect. More stuff is going to go into the muscles and the recovery side of things for that, more of an anabolic mechanism. Less of it's going to go to fat stores. So it makes it easier to stay in shape. It makes it easier to get in shape. You need the basics, but vitamin D3 will make things a lot easier. Another little add-on to that is that it tends to reduce aromatization to estradiol as well. So you're going to keep more of your testosterone. Testosterone aromatizes. Well, it goes into a few different potential pathways, but it reduces the aromatization into estrogen, which means you have more of the anabolic stuff, less of the, female hormones stuff. And point number 7, and this is probably the most insidious one and the most dangerous one, is that such a huge percentage of the global population, especially in the North, are just deficient for half the year without knowing it. So imagine like being low testosterone half the year, guaranteed, and you're just not even aware of why. It's a huge problem. And on top of this, the weather is colder, which makes it much more difficult. It adds a huge layer of friction to guys getting outside and getting enough sun, especially when it's low and it's hard to get enough anyway. And then it's cold on top of that, so you want to stay inside, which makes the problem even worse. So it's a huge, huge problem. So now the final little section here is what to do about it and how to get your levels up. Again, this all requires blood work to know where you are and where you need to be. Having levels in the 20s and the 30s is just not enough. 50 plus minimum. And in terms of what to do, I think a lot of people know. No, firstly, the first thing is getting outside. And I am not going to say sunlight because that seems to cause problems with people. Daylight. You need daylight getting into your eyes, and through the window doesn't count. You've got to get outside, whether it's cloudy or not, and get some daylight into your eyes. It doesn't have to be perfectly sunny, blue skies like it is today for once in the UK. Daylight, that's the first thing. In terms of supplements, pills do work, sprays work. You don't want to go any lower than 3,000 IUs because it's probably not going to do anything for one reason or another. At least 3,000, or you're not going to see any change on the blood work. It's a waste of time. If you're really badly deficient, you want to go high, quite a bit higher than that. But if you want to improve the absorption, I think most people know that you want to take it with K2, vitamin K2. Most supplements do have that with it now, as part of the package, but also magnesium and some dietary fat. And this ties into like having eggs first thing in the morning, which I suggest pretty much everyone does. So if you have it with some dietary fats and magnesium, some K2, you're going to get the most out of that supplement. You're not just going to be wasting your money. Also, eggs themselves have like a little bit of vitamin D3. Fatty fish is going to be the best thing. Cod liver oil as well. For food sources of vitamin D3, I still think most men in the winter need to be supplementing though, unless your blood work says otherwise. So this video has spoken about one of the biggest, most fundamental testosterone basics. If you want to know more about the cholesterol side of things, and which is the other huge fundamental testosterone basic, how to get enough of that, and the most powerful testosterone food known to man on the entire planet, it's more of an umbrella food. It's not one specific food. It's more of a type of food. If you want to learn more about that and the basics for having high testosterone levels where you just can't fail if you get these, check out that video here. I go into a lot more detail, and I'll see you in that video.